Hey, good morning everybody. This is Angie with Refine Crafts, and today I'm doing some cleaning up in this area of the shop. It's starting to get cold and we're going to have to run that wood stove, so we've got to get all of this out of here. One of the things that we have is this charger for my husband's drill, which is a great drill, but the charger's on the table, it's taking up too much space. And I just wanted to share a tip on how to mount this and to get your holes perfectly right. So you see we've got these little keyhole screw holders, and I've already figured out which screws are going to fit. So we've got these, they fit in the circle and they slide up. So we know those are good, but a lot of people struggle with getting these holes lined up. I've done it in the past and I have found this tip that I want to share. So I took a piece of masking tape, which I've got right here. I'm going to stick that one-handed. It's kind of difficult while filming, so forgive me, but I'm going to stick it one-handed over the holes like that. And then I've just got this little household kit. You know, you can get these anywhere. Take one of the push pins and in the little eye hole, poke a hole where that screw is going to go. So kind of centered in that section and centered right there. And then I'm going to take this piece of tape, which is now a template, and I'm going to stick it to the wall. And I'm sticking it where I know that I've got a stud, because, sorry, I stuck that to the wall where I know we've got a stud behind the panel, and we can see where those little holes are. Of course, if I'd used a pen, that probably would have been better. I'm going to mark those with a pen and I'll come back. Alright, so I'm back. What I've done is I've marked those little pinholes with a red pen so we can see where they are. And I'm going to use this smaller screw, because I don't have a drill today. I don't know where my husband's drill is that I'm putting this thing up for. I'm going to use the smaller screw as a pilot hole, and I'm going to screw it in with the screwdriver. So this is the screwdriver I'm going to be using, and this is the bit. I want to share this little tool with you. So this little slidey thing that covers the bit makes it really easy to put your screws in the wall. You don't have to hold them. Your screwdriver's not going to slip while you're pushing on it with any pressure. And I'm going to see if I can figure out a way to film that so you can see it. Alright, I think this is going to work. If you could see how I have this propped up, you'd laugh. It's sitting on a bellows that's hanging by the window. But anyway, I do think it'll work. So I've got the little pilot holes marked here. Find where it goes with the screw, get that positioned, and you can see how wiggly that is. But if I slide this tool over, still position the screw where I want it, and slide that tool right over, I can now push as hard as I want to, and that screw is not going to slip or fall out. I can hang on to that tool, push the screw in, and once it starts to bite, then I don't have to push as hard. We let the threads on the screw do the work. This panel is tough to get through with the first little bit, but you can see it's going through crooked, but that doesn't really matter. We're just looking for a start hole for our larger screw. So I backed it out a little, straightened it out a little. You can see that I'm still using this tool to hang on to, and the screw's gone right in. Now since this is a pilot hole, I'm going to back that out. And again, here, let me get where you can see it. I can hang on to that tool, and it just turns. Now that screw's loose, and we have a pilot hole here. We're going to do the same thing up here for this top hole. Find the little pinhole that I made, set the screw where I want it, place this tool that I don't know what it's called, hold that firm against the wall, which lets me give pressure on the screw. Yes, in case you're wondering, I'm double jointed. I know my fingers do weird things when I'm hanging on to stuff. So now the threads have caught, and I can just let them do the work. I'm not pushing at all, just turning, and no slipping. And now I can pull that screw back out. And now, because I used that template, I know that my holes are in the exact right place for that charging, for the bracket on the back of my charger. Now I'm going to switch to the larger screws. And using the same concept, I can set the screw in the hole, slide this down to hold on to, and push as hard as I need to push, and not worry that that screw is going to slip, or that the screwdriver is going to slip out of the Phillips head, come down and mash my fingers. Now you see it's going in just fine. And once you get to the point past the pilot hole, you'll have to push a little harder to get that screw in. But again, you really want to let the threads do the work and not your arm trying to push. Put the second screw, set it in place, slide the guide down, use that to push against the wall while you get your threads to bite. And you see now it's in. We're just screwing in. I'm trying to set my hand so you can see what I'm doing. And biting into that stud takes a little bit of effort, but we're turning, we're not really pushing, letting the threads do the work. Leave it sticking out because we know that this plastic housing on this charger is kind of deep. So we need the heads of these screws to stick out far enough to go into that housing and catch. So now the moment of truth, let's see if my guide worked. I'm going to line this up, I can see it from the other side. Put the screws into the big hole, slide it right down, and it fits perfectly. Awesome. Hope that helps you out.